Thank you very much, Mtwakazi Omuhle, for joining me. And thank you very much for your patience. I would like to apologize for the delay of this broadcast. As I said last week, these days I'll be doing my live broadcast in English so that we cut across the board, so that everyone in Mtwakazi is able to understand the message and the policy positions of Mtwakazi Democratic Alliance. Let us remember that as Mtwakazi Democratic Alliance, we are not a tribal party. We are a party that is standing for all the tribes that exist in Mtwakazi. And Mtwakazi to us include Matabeleland South, Matabeleland North, Midlands, and Bulawayo. that is the Mtwagazi territory that Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance seeks to focus on. So as Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance, let me make it clear that our mandate and our existence is for this following purpose. We are there to free the people of Mtwagazi. We are also there to ensure that Matabeleland or Mtwagazi begins to experience what we call development. Our people have been going through agony. Our people, we are the most abused people. We are the most taken advantage of people. We are the most looked down people because of the ruthlessness of ZANU PF. And as Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance, we are coming to quash, we are coming to destroy any traces of ZANU PF that have been left within the territory of Mtwagazi. So today, fellow Mtwagazians, mainly I'll be focusing on exposing the policy positions that have been taken by the ZANU PF to inflict further pain to our people. We know that ZANU PF, when we talk of ZANU PF in Mtwagazi, we are talking of pain. When we talk of ZANU PF in Mtwagazi, we are talking of food insecurity. When we talk of ZANU PF in Mtwagazi, we are talking about unclean water. When we talk about ZANU PF in Mtwagazi, we are referring to hunger. There is nothing good that ZANU PF has done in our land. And as Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance, we are rising up. We are standing up for our people. We are standing up for the rights of all Mtwagazi people. Let me reiterate that as Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance, we are not a tribal party. As Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance, what we are fighting for is the freedom of Mtwagazi people, is the freedom of our territory. It is the freedom of the people of Mtwagazi. We are not fighting against a tribe like what our enemy is doing. We are not fighting against a tribe, but we are fighting for the freedom of the people of Mtwagazi. Because as Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance, if we begin to fight a tribal war, then we will be the same as ZANU PF. Then we will also inflict the same pain to our people as ZANU PF did. So as Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance, we are not a tribal party. We are a party that is standing for the people of Mtwagazi. We are demanding the freedom. We are demanding the development of Mtwagazi. We are demanding the wellness of Mtwagazi in all aspects. So today I'll be exposing part of the policies that has been introduced by the ZANU PF regime that seeks to ensure that our people remain in an oppressed society, that our people doesn't have a voice, that our people will remain as the people without anything that they can be proud of. So there is a lot that ZANU PF has been doing. Let us remember that in 2013 in Zimbabwe, the people of Zimbabwe, including the people of Mtwagazi, let me clearly indicate that when I'm talking about the people of Zimbabwe, I'm referring to the people of Mashonaland. When I'm talking about the people of Mtwagazi, I'm referring to my people, the people whom Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance is standing for, and that is the people who resides within Mtwagazi across tribes. We are representing the Tonga people, we are representing the Soto people, we are representing the Swati people, we are representing the Nambias, all the tribes that exist in Mtwagazi, the Xhosa people, the Venda people. Those are our people that resides. We have more than 16 tribes residing in Mtwagazi. So these are the people that we are standing for. These are the people we are representing as the People's Party of Mtwagazi, the only People's Party that is standing for the interest of our people. So as I was alluding, is that ZANU PF, since its inception, it has come up with nothing except pay. It has come up with nothing except dictatorial tendencies that keeps our people not free, that keeps our people afraid. ZANU PF, as we know, it is the party of murderers. It is the party of killers. It is the party of slaughterers. It has nothing good for our people except destroying them, as they stipulated it on their document, which is called the 1979 Grand Plan. This is what they are implementing. And today I want to actually discuss some of the policies that they have introduced and offer an alternative, because these policies are mediocre policies. These policies are inhuman. These policies violate the rights of the people. It violates even the Bill of Rights that is in their constitution, which was voted for by people in 2013. And what you see, ZANU PF is a very, very stupid party. It is a party of thugs. It is an unconstitutional party. In 2013, people voted for the constitution which they wanted. And what did ZANU PF do? What has it done since people voted for their constitution? They were supposed to align that constitution, but what they are doing, they are removing the clauses that are not favoring them. For example, in the 2013 constitution, it prohibited the president to appoint the judges. It prohibited the president to appoint the members of the judiciary, because that on its own compromised the judiciary. That on its own made it a point that the judiciary was ZANUized. What did ZANU PF under Emmerson Mnangagwa did? They ensured that they removed that clause and said now the president is supposed to appoint all the members of the judiciary. What it means ZANU PF will become it means the judiciary will become a sub-entity of the ZANU PF ruthless regime. It means the judiciary will not serve the interest of the people, but the interest of the president, because it is appointed by the president. It will only dance according to the tune of the ZANU PF president, rather than ensuring that it brings about justice. I will unpack further on what this judiciary under Emmerson Mnangagwa has done in violation of the people's rights. As we speak now, because the judiciary is controlled by the ZANU PF regime, our people are still lying underground. Our miners at Macheche, the Macheche miners, have not been given a decent burial. They are still buried underground. We launched a case to the judiciary because it is controlled by the ZANU PF. They are still keeping that case. This is the status quo. This is the establishment that our people are living with, which we want to fight against, which we want to ensure that we fight against it bravely and remove it, and ensure that our people receive justice, and ensure that our people are ruled according to their will, not the will of an individual, not the will of a party, like what is happening in ZANU PF now. So their policies that they have introduced, which seeks to ensure that it strengthens ZANU PF as a party led by the dictators. It ensures that ZANU PF become a qualified terrorist organization that seeks to do nothing but put fear amongst the people, controls the people, violates the rights of the people. One of the bills that they have introduced is called the Cyber Security and the Data Protection Bill. Everyone should know about this bill. And I know they introduced this bill because they were feeling pressure. You see, these days, it's unlike the olden days, whereby they will kill us through Kukuraunde and the world will not know. These days, it is the digital era. These days, we are living under the fourth industrial revolution, and things have changed. We are able to voice our voices through these digital platforms, even though the state media doesn't give us airtime to say our view, airtime to say our political views. So they have introduced this cybersecurity and data protection bill. That bill, within it, it will establish an entity called the Data Protection Authority. What they are seeking to do, these morons, to the people who voted them, they will ensure that they control what you post on social media. As I'm speaking, it is Mnangagwa signed that as law. It is law now. And that bill gives the ZANU PF to ensure that they look at whatever their citizens post on their social media account, and they criminalize posting certain content on the citizens' personal social media account. So what does that mean? It means they are now quashing, they are now silencing freedom of expression. They are now ensuring that no one will be able to express themselves. So this Data Protection Authority will ensure that whatever you post, even on WhatsApp, it is controlled. If you post something which they view as a threat to them, this bill is not in the interest of the people. This bill is in the interest of strengthening dictatorship. This bill is in the interest of ensuring that the voice of the people is suppressed. The voice of the people remains docile. The voice of the people remains controlled. They will be controlling us. You won't be able to post anything. Anything that you post, you will have, it will be criminalized, especially if they view it as violent content, especially if they view it as a content that is xenophobic, especially if they view it as a content that threatens their existence. Because this bill is not in the interest of protecting people. This bill is not in the interest of protecting the Mtwagazi people. But this bill is coming into force to ensure that people remain silenced. This is what we are facing in Zimbabwe. And as Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance, we are fighting against those tendencies. People should hold the government to account. People should be free to say anything to the people they elect to occupy the positions of political leadership without fear. People should be able to express themselves. Especially because politicians, they are employed by the people in a democratic society. If we vote for you, we should be in a position to say something if you do something wrong. But this bill that they have introduced, it seeks to ensure that you remain silent. It seeks to ensure that your freedom of expression is not exercised. It limits the freedom of expression, and that is dictatorial in its nature. That is not in the interest of the people. It means now people will be afraid of the people they elect to occupy the positions of leadership. And as Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance, we are fighting against such kind of politicians. We are fighting against such authoritarianism in this day and age. We will not accept a political party that violates the people's right. The political party that is not aligned to the Bill of Rights that the people voted for in 2013. So ZANU PF has proven beyond reasonable doubt that it is not in the interest of serving the interest of people. Its thrust is to ensure that the people whom they lead, they remain oppressed. So they will be controlling your social media. What you post on Twitter, what you post on Instagram, what you post on Facebook, it will be under ZANU PF scrutiny. The censorship is no longer on the public broadcaster, but now the censorship has been extended to the personal accounts of the people, which means all of us, we no longer have the right to privacy. Our right to privacy is violated. ZANU PF now, through this bill, will have absolute right to ensure that they follow up on each and everything that is posted by the citizens. So as Mtwakazi Democratic Alliance, we condemn this bill with the strongest contempt it deserves. This bill is not in the interest of the people. And as Mtwakazi Democratic Alliance, we will never be silenced by this deal. With this bill, we will challenge it and ensure that the rights of the Mtwakazi citizens are restored. Besides, our existence is to fight for the freedom of Mtwakazi. When we are fighting for the freedom, we are not only freeing the territory, but people should be in a position to express themselves, especially in their individual accounts, especially in their WhatsApp, especially in their spaces. The government is giving itself too much power because they are not in the interest of the people. They are not serving the interest of the people. They are afraid of the people who voted for them. That is why they are introducing this cyber security and data protection bill. We should fight for this, comrades. And people are taking these bills lightly. When they are criminalizing freedom, it means our freedom will be taken away. You won't be able to write anything against this government. You won't be able to criticize this government on your social media account. I mean your private social media account. It will be censored by the government. This is what this bill seeks to do. This bill violates the rights of citizens to have a worldview, to think. It violates the rights of citizens to think and express their thoughts to the government. Because if you elect the government, you should be in a position to tell that government what to do. A government that is voted by its people should listen to its people. Now, when you are controlling the voices of the people, then you are not acting in the interest of the people who voted for you. This shows us clearly that ZANU PF does not carry the mandate of the people. ZANU PF is a terror organization that seeks to control the people, seeks to control all aspects of the people. It is not acting in the interest of Mtwakazi people. And we will fight that system. We will fight that particular party. We are ready to fight for that. We won't allow it to control our accounts. We won't allow it to control the social media accounts of individuals. People should be free to express themselves in their WhatsApp. People should be free to express themselves in any social media account. So this cyber security and data protection bill, it seeks to violate those rights. It seeks to silence the people. And we will not stand that. We will never be silenced by ZANU PF. So our people should be aware of this. We will be letting our people to be aware of each and every detrimental policy that is implemented by the ZANU PF. They are busy implementing the acts that seeks to ensure that all the rights of individuals within Mtwakazi are violated. They want to ensure that the opposition parties remain docile, because you'll be a useless opposition party if you are not able to condemn ZANU PF and say what you are doing there is wrong. If it is voted by you, if you have voted for a politician, you should be in a position to hold that politician to account. And ZANU PF is running away from accountability by introducing the policies that will ensure that the citizens remain silent, the citizens remain oppressed. Comrades, we can't allow this. We should never allow this. That is why it is important for you to join Mtwaga's Democratic Alliance, because Mtwaga's Democratic Alliance, this is what it is fighting against. We are fighting such policy positions of ZANU PF which are by far not in the interest of our people. We are fighting against this system. We are fighting against this establishment. We are fighting against this terrorist organization which introduced the policies that are not in the interest of the people. This bill will criminalize production and dissemination of racist and xenophobic materials. You see, who will define the racist opinions? Who will define the xenophobic opinions? What is it that will qualify the statements to be xenophobic? You see, here they are trying to come against Mtwaga's parties because we are saying we don't want our people to be led by people who are coming outside our territory. We want our people to be led by indigenous people. We want our people, if we have a member of parliament in Mpopom, that member of parliament must be a resident of Mpopom and he must be coming from Mtwagas. We are tired of being led by people who are not coming from Mtwagas. So if you say that, they may say this is xenophobic, but it is not xenophobic. We are speaking pro-people policies. Someone from Mashonaland cannot come and lead Bulawayo in the interest of the Bulawayo people. That is why all the MDC deployees that have been deployed in Matabeleland or ZANU PF Mashonaland deployees that have been deployed to Matabeleland or in Mtwagas, they have left Mtwagas in this current state. Our country is in a mess. Our country is facing serious crisis. Why? Because we have neglected people who are coming outside of our provinces to come and lead us. This is why we have MPs who are endorsing policies such as Cyber Security and Data Protection Act, which seeks to criminalize the freedom of expression, which seeks to criminalize the freedom of thought. This cyber security and data protection law or bill, it seeks to take away our rights. It seeks to take away our freedom, the legal freedom that we have, which means ZANU PF will be controlling what you post on your WhatsApp. You see, you shouldn't post anything that is not in the interest of ZANU PF. You shouldn't post anything that speak bad against ZANU PF. That is what this legislation seeks to do. And as Mtwaga's people, we must unite in fighting against such legislations. They are unconstitutional. They are not only unconstitutional, but they are not in the interest of our people. So we won't support such kind of policy positions. These policy positions seek to thwart the freedom of speech and information dissemination, because now, according to this law, if you post a video of people demonstrating and maybe fighting against each other, you will be in trouble. You will be criminalized. You will be prosecuted. So, fellow Mtwaga's people, we should be aware of the parties that we are voting in Mtwagas. If you are voting for ZANU PF, is it what you wish? Is it how you want to live? To live under the scrutiny of ZANU PF? To live under the supervision of ZANU PF on whatever you post, on whatever you write on your Facebook wall, on whatever you write on your Twitter? We should fight against this. We should fight against this. Because as Mtwagas, our rights are taken away, slowly but for sure. So the other bill that these criminals masquerading as politicians are seeking to implement is called a patriotic bill. This bill will criminalize anyone who speak with any country about the problems of the nation. Anyone who speak bad against ZANU PF. For example, if you call for sanctions because what ZANU PF is doing, it is violating the people's rights, such ideologies will be criminalized. You won't be allowed to speak like that according to this patriotic bill. This bill in its nature, it is unpatriotic. It is not in the interest of the Mtwaga's nation as well as the people of Zimbabwe. This is an African bill. Because this bill, what it seeks to do, it seeks to strengthen the power of ZANU PF. It seeks to strengthen only ZANU PF. ZANU PF must say everything and we abide according to what it says. If you speak anything against the ZANU PF, you will be criminalized. So I thought of letting our people know about the parties they are allowing to rule Mtwagas or to rule Matepelele, what they have in mind. They have that mentality to control us. They have that mentality to ensure that we don't speak. They have that mentality to ensure that our voices remain silenced forever. We die in agony. If they commit the genocide, we must keep quiet. If our people are dying because of cholera, we must keep quiet and project the country as a good country, whilst the country is nothing less than an impoverished country, a country without rights, a country that is taking each and every right that the citizens have. They can't control us. You shouldn't control people to clap hands for you. If people don't want to clap hands for you, if the people want to express themselves concerning your leadership, let them be. But ZANU PF is taking away all these rights through this patriotic bill. So they are introducing the bills that will ensure that we remain a people who are afraid. People will be afraid to participate in politics because of these bills. Because once you start to participate in politics, they will use this bill to take you to prisons. They will use these bills to criminalize you. They will use this bill to make sure that you have a criminal record. And this is what we are fighting for. This is unpatriotic, fellow Mtwagazians. This patriotic bill is unpatriotic. This patriotic bill is inhuman. This patriotic bill violates the freedom of expression and other necessary rights. This patriotic bill in its nature is not an acceptable bill using any standard, be it even the Zimbabwean standard. They are anti this bill, the way it is coined by ZANU PF. So these are the bills that when it comes to 2020, 2023, we should vote them out. We have the power as Mtwagazi people. We have the power is within us. The power to get rid of ZANU PF is within us. If all of us today we wake up and say enough is enough with ZANU PF, we are now getting rid of ZANU PF out of Mtwagazi. And come 2023, we ensure that within the entire territory of Mtwagazi, there is no ZANU PF official as a member of parliament, as a senator, as a councillor, or as whatsoever, or as a member of the residents association, or any position. We ensure that we take away ZANU PF. We ensure that we take away MTC. Such policies will never be approved. Such policies will never sail through so simple. So, fellow Mtwagazians, we are under siege because of the ZANU PF. The other policy that they seek to implement is called the Maintenance of Peace and Order Bill. This bill is replacing the POSA. We know how evil the POSA was. If you wanted to demonstrate, to conduct a demonstration, you have to go and tell the police that you want to conduct a demonstration. And we know the police of Zimbabwe, they are ZANU PF members. I remember one year, I think it was around 2014, if not 2015, I went to a police station at Nkulumane. And when I went to that police station, I heard the police officers chanting the slogan, saying, "Viva President." By then it was Robert Mugabe. So police, soldiers, and all people who are working for the state, they are forced to be members of ZANU PF. They are forced to vote for ZANU PF. That's why we say those institutions belong to ZANU PF. So if you want to, so the poster, one of the evil things that the poster was saying is that if you want to conduct any public meeting, you have to go and tell the police. You see, it says you have to go and inform the police. But also in turn, you discuss with the police. The police allows you to conduct such a public event. Just imagine you want to complain against the government and you go and report to the police. It means that demonstration will be controlled. That demonstration won't even send a message. You want to protest against the devil and you have to go and seek a permission to the devil. So this was the most ruthless. I'm talking about the historic, this POSA, which is no longer in existence, by the way, which will be replaced by the Maintenance of Peace and Order Bill. This bill is more evil than the POSA that we are crying for, which criminalized demonstrations, which criminalized people with different views, which criminalized people who were anti-ZANU PF, which criminalized the people who were opposing the government. This one is more evil. It is making Mtwagazi and Zimbabwe to be an apartheid state. You see, according to the Maintenance of Peace and Order Bill, if the police suspects that you are a suspect just walking around the streets, they have to search you without even getting the search warrant from the court. They have to, if they just suspect, they will just search you. You will have to comply and say nothing. And the other thing, you have to go around carrying your national identity card. If you don't carry around your national identity card, the police are given the power to detain you. And when it comes to a demonstration, it criminalizes the demonstration that you conduct without telling the police, which is a ZANU PF establishment, which is a sub-entity of ZANU PF, not the government. Because we know in Zimbabwe, we don't have a government. We have ZANU PF, a terrorist organization controlling the lives of the people. We don't have a government because a government acts in the best interest possible of the people. A government does not control what people should say. A government doesn't harass its people. You see, these police officers that are now mandated, that are now have been legalized to oppress the citizens, they are paid. Their salary, it is what the taxpayers are paying, which means we are the ones who pay them. If we are the ones who pay them, including Emerson Mnangagwa's salary, he is taking that salary from our taxes. Even the corruption that they are practicing that corruption using our taxes. But guess what? These people, we employ them through voting for them, as they claim. By the way, we know even the elections are not even free and fair. I'm talking about the people whom you employ through electing them. Because when you are employing an MP, they get a salary. They get vehicles. They get privileges. Those privileges are funded by what you pay as tax. In simple terms, those individuals are funded by us citizens. The monies that they are collecting through the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority, through our borders, these are the monies they use to oppress us. So as the people, we have the power. I tell you, if we close the Beitbridge border post for 48 hours, these guys will start panicking because they are looting a lot of money through that border post. But that same money, which is hard earned by the citizens, is used to take away the rights of the citizens. So this is what we are living under. This is what we are subjected to. And as Mtwaga's Democratic Alliance, we are coming to stop that. We are coming to quash that. As MDA, we are coming to fight against that. And we ensure that we restore the rights of all citizens. People should be free to post whatever they want, especially in the accounts which they created, especially in the accounts which belongs to them. Now, what these bills that they are implementing seeks to do, it seeks to take away all the rights of the people. It seeks to take away our freedom. Which means whatever we post on our WhatsApp, whether we are chatting with our loved ones, ZANU PF sniff dogs, ZANU PF Central Intelligence Organization will be sniffing through that information. They will be seeing everything. If you want to send a nice picture to your girlfriend, it has to go through ZANU PF. They approve it. It's okay. We can't allow such stupidity and such mediocre. This is the highest level of stupidity that the people should not protect, that the people should not tolerate. And how do we protect that stupidity? By voting away ZANU PF in Mtwaga's, by voting away MDC in Mtwaga's, by voting away all the parties that you have set, because they are not acting in the interest of Mtwaga's. Each and every party that he has set as its initial, it is not acting in the best interest of Mtwaga. And such a political party has to be fought against. Such a political party has to be defeated in Mtwaga. We don't want the political parties in Mtwaga that are anti-Mtwaga, because Mtwaga is our identity. Mtwaga is the who you are. Let me tell you one thing. If you are living in the territories that I have mentioned and you disown Mtwaga, you are a very stupid person. Because you are disowning your identity, because you are disowning who you are. It's like going around and then you tell people the name which is not yours, because you are not proud of your name. Because you are not proud. When you are not proud of your name, you are not proud of your identity. So Mtwaga's must be embraced. In fact, whether you embrace it, whether you like it or not, you are Mtwaga's. You are not a Zimbabwean. If you are living under these territories that we have painted black on that map which you see behind, that is the territory of Mtwaga's. You are Mtwagazian, and you must help us to fight against these terrorist organizations that are coming to violate all the necessary rights, all the fundamental rights, all the key rights of the people of Mtwaga's. So, these laws, such as cybersecurity and data protection, patriotic bill, and this maintenance of peace and order bill, these laws must be fought against. These laws are not acting in the best interest of Mtwaga's people. Let me begin by addressing this other challenge that we have as Mtwaga's. So, as I was condemning these laws, I was providing you with the solution. Now, we are fighting against the parties that seeks to thwart our rights. We are fighting against the parties that seeks to destroy who we are. Because if you are sniffing through our phones, if you are sniffing through our privacy, we no longer have rights. We no longer have rights. So if you post a good picture to your loved one, it will be saved through. If ZANU PF views it as pornographic, you may be in for it. These are the laws that are introduced in Mtwaga's. These are the greatest, these are the most inhuman laws that we are supposed to comply with. So Mtwaga's the people, we can't comply with such nonsense. We can't comply We can't live, we can't be subjected under this. We have been living under fear for so many years, and it's high time we stand up against the establishment. It's high time we stand up against the people who don't love us. It's high time we stand up against the people who look down upon us. It's high time to stand up against our killers. It's high time to stand up against our slaughterers. It's high time to stand up against these Satanists that are not acting in the best interest of our people. You see, Bulawayo is under the MDC. The whole of Bulawayo City Council, it is ruled by the MDC. Look what is happening in Bulawayo. A lot of our people are dying in Chabalala because of waterborne diseases. All our people around Bulawayo, they don't have water. There are water restrictions. We started having water problems since the advent of MDC. We have been facing water problems. They have been ruling Bulawayo, the Bulawayo City Council, for the past 20 years. What have they done to improve accessibility to water? They have done absolutely nothing. They wait for rain. Sometimes even if the rain comes, they don't have chemicals. But they opted, they said they are the people with better governance. They are the people, they are the better alternative. But are they the better alternative when our people are dying because of waterborne diseases? When our people can't even go to their toilets because there is no water? When students go to school without bathing because there is no water? People are bathing with 2 liters. People are bathing with 1 liter. People are cooking with 2 liters. But we have a council led by the opposition. They have been leading, in fact, that council for the past 20 years. And it has been having water problems. What have they done? They have done nothing to address the water problems. Mtwagas, are these the people you want them to lead you? Are these the people you want them to govern you? Are these the people you want them to control you? People who can't provide sufficient and clean water. People who can't address the water challenges. They inherited the Ian Smith water system, and that is what we are still using. You see how stupid they are. How stupid they are. So why do we have this problem? It is because we are putting people into influential positions who are not coming from Mtwagas. We have allowed the externals who are not coming from Mtwagas to come and rule us. Instead of offering us good administration, what do? They loot. MDC has been looting the resources that are supposed to be channeled to the people. All these external MDC councillors who are coming to rule Bulawayo, after ending their term, they ensure that they have stands, and all the family members have stands. The people who are employed to clean are employed. They employ their families. You see, they don't employ Mtwagas people. They don't economically empower the Mtwagas people. These people, you see most of them cleaning in the streets that were brought by the MDC. Some of them, they are foreign to Mtwagas. They've been called from somewhere. Come here, I'm the one in charge. I will give you a job to clean. And what happens? Our people remain unemployed. And if you are unemployed, you go to other countries illegally. And now South Africa doesn't want us. Our neighboring countries doesn't want us. Fellow Mtwagasians, all these calamities that we are going through, we have the power to end them. All these problems that we are going through, we have the power to end them. And how do we end them? By joining Mtwaga's Democratic Alliance and ensure that Mtwaga's Democratic Alliance fulfills its mandate, because its mandate is to free you. Its mandate is to restore your rights. Its mandate is to put policies in favor of you. Its mandate is to look for your back. Its mandate is to ensure that Mtwagazi is restored to its former glory. By the way, we're one of the greatest nations in the African continent and in the world. We were producing goods of high value. The maize that was produced in Mtwagazi was beating the record standards. Every country in the world wanted our maize. But what is, we were the bread basket of Africa. But what did the ZANU PF do? It destroyed all that. You see. Talk of Mzilika's, you are talking of a warrior. Talk of the Mzilika's army and Lopemula's army, you are talking of warriors. You are not talking of cowards. So fellow Mtwakazins, it is our duty, it is our responsibility to ensure that we stand up and fight for our land. We stand up and say enough is enough. And indeed, enough is enough. Our people have suffered enough. Our people have suffered for a long time. Bantu bakithi kuze kube nini sithwele nzima. Kuze kube nini simbalekela ilizwe lethu. Kuze kube nini sibhace emazweni, sihlukunyezwa, sithethiswa, sibizwa ngamagama. Ngendaba zokuthi kasifuni kusukumela siphakamele ilizwe lethu. Mina nawe, whether uyisifundi, whether ungudokotela, whether uyi-lawyer, whether you are a house girl, whether you are a garden boy, whether you are whatsoever, we have a responsibility to ensure that we take responsibility. How do we take responsibility? By beginning to fight for our country. Your country needs you. Mtwagazi needs you. You don't deserve to be called names wherever you are, while you have a great nation. You don't deserve to be belittled wherever you are, while you have a nation. You don't deserve to be looked down wherever you are, while you belong to Mtwagazi. Your rights must never be taken away under your watch. Fellow Mtwagazians, it is the right time we rise up and fight against these Kukurawundis. We were not born of cowards. We were not born of fearless, people who feared the enemy. We were born of the warriors. We were born of fighters. It is the time to fight. MDA shall consist of people who are ready to do whatever to fight for the freedom of Mtwagazi. We need to do any means necessary to fight for the freedom of Mtwagazi. So fellow comrades, we have a duty. Our voice is stronger when we unite under Mtwagazi Democratic Alliance. Let me tell you, by the way, there is no party in Mtwagazi which is strong in terms of defending human rights, which is strong in terms of policy positions that are in the interest of people as MDA. We are by far number one party. All we need is your support. All we need is for you to unite us. Bantu bakithi bathi thina sibambananga izitha zethu lezo. Let us embarrass our enemy and show them that we can stand up, we can unite and fight for our land. We can unite and fight for our motherland. We can unite and fight for our interests. We can unite and defend our rights. We have been called weak. We have been called ompondo kayithinjwa. We have been called all derogatory name. Abantu abathengisa ilizwe ngeshukela. Asithengisanga ilizwe ngeshukela thina. Thina siyisizwe samakhosi. Hayi amakhosi okudlala. Hayi amakhosi ale history phekiweyo. Thina sosizwe esasungulwa ngabathakathi. No. Thina siyisizwe esasungulwa ngamakhosi. Thina, we were led by amakhosi. Thina, we were led by warriors, not the cowards. So if you have a blood of cowards running in you, you are not a Mtwakazi. So it's high time, fellow Mtwakazans, we rise up and claim our land and claim our identity. Don't be embarrassed to fight for your identity. It is the who you are. You should be proud to belong to Mtwakazi. We know that ZANU PF has made us not to be proud. But fellow comrades, fellow Mtwakazians, the power is in us. ZANU PF doesn't have power if we are stronger, if we are united, if we come together, if we have a shared vision, if we have shared goals and shared purposes. We can easily defeat it. The power is in us. So, fellow Mtwakazians, let me conclude by encouraging you to join Mtwakazi Democratic Alliance. If you want to join this party, you can communicate with us using any social media that you are hearing us from. If you inbox us, we will ensure that we direct you to the nearest ward or to the nearest leadership that will assist you to be a member. You need to join Mtwakazi. Don't fight on the terraces. If you are not a coward, join us. Fight with us. We need to unite. This fight needs me and you. This fight requires all of us. So join this strategic, join this people-centered organization. And also ngiyanikhuthaza bathwakazi abahle, sikhona laphana ku-YouTube, yona le video after sisenze live sessions sizomeka sure ukuthi bakhona ku-YouTube. You search for us, ngumthwakazi Democratic Alliance, uhambe laphana upresse usubscribe button, usubscribe, unxuse ne-family yakho to subscribe. Let us also share this page and ensure that all our families, they like this page, because this page will use it as an unfiltered page. This page will actually say out the information of Mtwakazi Democratic Alliance as it is. We won't filter any information. We won't filter any nonsense. We will say nonsense as it is. So I'm encouraging you, my fellow brothers and sisters, let's join Mtwakazi Democratic Alliance massively. Don't worry about these parties that are running all over, the busy bodies doing nothing. This is the party that stands for you. So let us join this party in numbers. If we join it in numbers, it will have strength. By the way, this is the fastest growing party. Don't listen to the enemies. We know. We have the records, we have the data. It is the fastest growing political party, and the enemy is already feeling the heat about this political movement because it is acting in the interest of our people. Thank you very much. I'm sorry today I had to come through late, but I'm sure some of you will watch the afterlife program. We will try all means necessary to ensure that we broadcast all our programs on time. It's weekend, we had a lot of meetings. This is the time where we meet as Mtwakazi Democratic Alliance. Will be meeting so many structures to ensure that this party becomes an effective tool for the people of Mtwakazi. Fellow Mtwakazians, thank you for joining me. We say, comrades, go and register to vote. Go and register to vote, and let us register in numbers. Let's ensure that we register in numbers, encourage family members and everyone within Mtwakazi. We want Mtwakazi to be controlled by MDA come 2023. Thank you very much. God bless Mtwakazi. God bless Africa. God bless the world. In order for the world to be peaceful, Mtwakazi must be free and its people. Thank you very much.